Hello, this is Lightning Hawk, and this will be my tutorial video on how to play American Colonization. I'll be playing as a select nation as, how about Germany? Alright, so here's my nation of Germany. I will start out by choosing my camera settings, the med, which goes to this size, -file, which zooms out even more, and -max, which goes to the maximum size capability. Next, this is optional, I can just ignore it, but I will choose my religion. For Germany, let's look at my events and see what religions are best. So Crusader States requires a Catholic religion, while Antipope requires a Protestantism religion. And since I have no plans of getting to Jerusalem, I'm going to choose Protestant religion. So anyways, just as a side note, you should check all your events before choosing a religion, and choose your religion based on what's the best events you can do. For me, the best event is Antipope, so that's why I chose Protestantism. Now I check my religion on my government, and tier 1 and 2 offers theocracy and monarchy. You can only choose one government, and once you choose it, you cannot go back. I can wait for tier 3 to get democracy, socialism, or dictatorship. Now I'm going to check my events again. So I have an event for democracy, I have an event for socialism, and then I have an event for dictatorship. Now I know that dictatorship is the best event. The Second Reich is the best event. So I'm going to wait and choose dictatorship later on. Now, until then, because this structure is taking up my hero experience, I'm going to click F so that this structure no longer takes away hero experience. Alright, so that's done for now. Now I'm going to focus on my European things. So as Germany, I start with an army. I'm getting plenty of gold, and you get gold by capturing cities as Europe. And I have many cities I am able to capture. Over here, and also as Germany, I can go to Warsaw, Kiev, other places, all for those juicy cities to give me income. Now I am going to choose to get this area. So, heroes. Now to talk about heroes. Heroes are highly underrated. Many of them give auras that can boost your army's attack, defense, attack rate, and health regeneration. So I always choose the auras first. Now I'm going to build up a small army. Once I'm going to try to get to a 36 food army just so it can conquer. And until then, I suggest that every player try every European nation at least get 7 peasants for lumbering. You can upgrade your lumbering capacity at your sawmill. Now, while I capture these cities, I'm going to talk about what you can build. And it's almost always consistent with what a European nation can build. They can build a stable, which gives cavalry. They can build a sawmill, which it serves the same purpose it has in standard Warcraft 3. The same thing applies for armory. It's basically a blacksmith. Shipyard, it trains ships, and they're somewhat different from standard Warcraft 3. Um, the ships you can train differ. Next, you can train hospitals. These things are very helpful in combat. They give a extremely powerful health regeneration aura, and they also train medics, which are basically priests, Warcraft 3 priests. Now you may notice, then thirdly, well, not thirdly, I have no whatly is barracks. Barracks, they serve the same purpose as they do in standard Warcraft 3. Now, workshop. Workshops are actually a bit different than Warcraft 3 workshops. American Colonization workshops. They train cannons, canister fire cannons, and crank guns, which are basically Maxim guns. And then you can train settlements. I'll talk about those later. And also trading posts. I'll also talk about that later. And then finally, northern settlements, which I'll talk about even later. Now, Tier 2 has happened, so I get new units, officers, which give a powerful aura for my units, and then gunmen, which in this case is different for each nation. For my nation of Germany, I get German Confederation infantry. So I'm going to keep building some caravels so I can send my army to America. Now I strongly advise every nation to get about 3 to 4 boatloads of troops and 4 caravels to send them to your American colony. Something I haven't mentioned yet is over time each European nation will spawn a city in America. The city consists of a hero, some gunmen, and also some workers. Forget it. Now, these buildings that you may be seeing, so this Exploration Academy, every European nation starts with one, or at least most of them do, and they do basically nothing. They train, explore heroes. They are very expensive. I advise you to wait until you have like 200 food or 300 food until you start building them. And by the way, food is increased by the amount of cities you build or the amount of settlements you build. I'll be talking about settlements very soon. So for now, just loading up my boats. And then, alright, so some of my troops died, so I failed to fill up all 4 caravels, so I'm just leaving with 3. I'm gonna send them right over to my settlement in America. Now, something to do with your settlement, I suggest you to do multiple things. First off is to build some barracks. I'd suggest 6. That's what I do. Secondly is, well, to send your army over. But then thirdly is to build some more workers. Now, just so I don't confuse you, there's plenty of other stuff about this game, but I'm going to wait until I get everything I need at my settlement. But there is some things I can talk about. Now, your city in America usually has nearby cities that can spawn. You can spawn these cities by sending a worker to pinged locations which you receive when typing the command -colonies. As you can see, right on the minimap, I have a ping right next to my colony. I'm going to send a worker to that pinged location to spawn a free city. Alright, so I got that free city. By the way, you don't have to. You can expand wherever you want, but each nation is unique in that they get free spawn cities which you can send a unit to at the pinged location of colonies. I have many more colonies. I'm not going to focus on them so I don't confuse you guys. You guys are probably insanely confused already, so no need to stack it on. Alright, so I got my army over. Now, what may happen is there's native players on this map, and the goal of the game is to get the win condition. That is destroying 160 European cities. And these are cities. So if they kill these 2 cities, they get closer to winning. And at the same time, if we kill 40 native camps as Europeans, we win the game. So we have a incentive to kill the natives. So that means they also want to stop us from winning the game. There's other reasons for natives and Europeans to fight, but they're not as important. For example, it's simply fun to fight. It's Warcraft. It has the word war in it. So anyways, you may be seeing now I'm building settlements, and settlements can only be built in America. They can't be built in Europe. They can also be built in parts of Africa, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. So I'm just going to build a bunch of settlements and wait for them to complete construction. While time passes, I'll build up my army by building some gunmen. And I'm going to send some workers to level. Alright, so settlements, they have many abilities. First is Scorch Earth that self-destructs the settlement. So why you may want to do that is to deny it from the natives so they don't gain a city. So if you're under attack and it seems that you may lose your settlement, you just self-destruct it. It takes a while, I think like 2 minutes, and there isn't even much. You don't really have to worry about this too much. You have 60 cities. It's okay if the natives destroy a few. Now, settlements can also build workers. That's not too complicated. You can also give the structure to an ally if you have allies in Europe. I don't, because I'm playing this game alone, just so nothing's inconvenient. Next, you can upgrade to a town. The town, so if you upgrade settlements to town, oh, and if I didn't mention this already, settlements give gold upkeep every 60 seconds. So anyways, towns, if I upgrade them, they give me even more income. But there's something else you can do with settlements. You can also upgrade them to forts. And forts are rather nice. They're expensive, but they have a lot of hit points, and they also deal damage to natives. So I'm just gonna upgrade my settlements, and I think I'm going to also build some more. Expand to clear out any hostile mobs. Oh, and by the way, so gunmen in most armies have two abilities. Obviously, well, the normal Warcraft 3 abilities. I don't need to explain about that. So anyways, they have Destroy Unit, which is self-explanatory. You click it, then as a second, just so you don't accidentally mass click this or accidentally suicide your units, you have to click it one time, and then you have to move your mouse to the character icon. Click it, then your unit dies. Next is Unit Rally. I'm sorry, something messed up with the labeling, but it makes all units of the same unit type, in this case, German Confederation infantry, to move to the location that you point at the map. Alright, well, meanwhile, back to settlements. If you upgrade your settlement to a town, you can later upgrade it to a city. It costs some gold, but they give even better income. Alright, so I think I finally have time to talk about some other stuff. Gonna finally talk about the armory. The armory has many upgrades. They upgrade first tier 1 units, which are um, regular units, bowmen, cavalry, and then there's Tier 2 units, which are basically all gunmen infantry. Gunmen units. Next, there are fortress cannon. These upgrades, which upgrade the attack damage and defense and hit points of forts, both in Europe and the colonial forts that you can build in America. Then third, as a destroy unit ability like most other buildings. Then there are some other upgrades that are just researchable, though not too important. City garrisons, they give they make you able to spawn militia at cities, but they despawn after 60 seconds, though not too important. However, something that is important is each European nation has a pathway, and in cities there are research things that upgrade from colonial empire to advanced colonial empire to further advanced colonial empire, and then all the way up to where eventually, if you upgrade this event enough, you get a win condition that wins you the game. But this is that's for another day. All right. So as I see, I for advanced colonial empire.